Hello everyone, this is Hughes with a new series that I mentioned in my upcoming video, On a Stick. The series is On a Stick. It's a reference to the Magic the Gathering card Isochron Scepter. Now, in this series, we're going to actually talk about cards that Isochron Scepter would be good with. Isochron Scepter is like one of my favorite spells in Magic. It's an 2-cost artifact that reads Imprint. When Isochron Scepter enters the battlefield, you may exile an instant card with converted mana cost 2 or less from your hand. You can tap 2 and tap it to copy the exiled card. If you do, you may cast a copy without paying its mana cost. So, Isochron Scepter is a very good card in my opinion. I don't know. I mean, I'm a very casual player. I enjoy Isochron Scepter. I think that it makes for interesting games, and I also think it's especially good in Commander, which is a format I play an awful lot of. Actually, I think every Commander deck I ever build has at least one Isochron Scepter in it, because you always have a 2-cost instant or sorcery. So, continuing on, the point of this series is, and we might do some different things later with it, but the beginning part of the series, the point of the series is to talk about cards that you can put on Isochron Scepter that I feel are just crazy. Like the ones here today. I'll do 3 or 4 cards every time, depending on what kind of cards they are and what I feel like talking about them, or how much I talk about it, or if I have like a story to go along with it. Most of these cards I've tried out. I've used them when I had them, so yeah. And some of them will probably be givens. I'm sure if you've had an Isochron Scepter in these cards, you've been like, yeah, that's definitely a card I would put on Isochron Scepter. It's just so good. So without further ado, let's talk about today's 3 cards. Our first card today will be Manamorphose. Manamorphose is a 2-cost red and green for an instant, obviously. Add 2 mana of any combination of colors to your mana pool. Draw a card. This card is great. First off, it basically just turns Isochron Scepter into a mana creator that gives you mana with whatever color. It's great for multicolor decks, it's great for 2-color decks, it's great for 1-color decks. And then it lets you draw a card. So you basically, as long as you had the 2 mana, you start your turn, tap Isochron Scepter, Manamorphose, draw a card, done. I had a red-black deck at one point where I ran Manamorphose specifically for Isochron Scepter. It's so, because in a red deck you always run out of cards. It was a very burn destroy deck, so it was like I had to have answers all the time. So the best thing to do would be to kill as many things as possible, as fast as possible. And Manamorphose was great for this, especially when your kitchen table stuff. I mean, Manamorphose is a good card anyways, as far as I know. I mean, 2 mana to draw a card, essentially, but you get your 2 mana back. So, draw a card for free? I mean, I feel like that's good anyways. So, like, one of these ones was like a given. I just really like Manamorphose. Since I sold all those decks and all those cards, I really wish I still had a Manamorphose, but I don't. So, it's one of those cards. I really like this card. I really like it on Isochron Scepter. So, moving on to our next card, Lightning Helix. It costs a red and a white, which I believe is Boros colors. It is obviously an instant. Lightning Helix deals 3 damage to target creature or player, and you gain 3 life. So, 2 mana to deal 3 damage and gain 3 life. I mean, that's control all over the board. I mean, this card runs, from what I understand, this card runs like $10, $15 now, because it's just so good. And when you think about it, how can I not put this card on a stick? I mean, essentially you're gonna deal 3 damage, and you know what? It's even better because it has target creature or player. And there are card decks like your Balefire Liege deck, and you're just like, okay, well, I put Isochron Scepter and Lightning Helix. That's game. Because now I'm gonna swing Lightning Helix at you, and hit you for 3. And I'm gonna gain 3, but then you're gonna take another 3, and I'm gonna gain another 3 because I'm casting a copy of the spell. So yeah, it's just, you're just like, oh my, I don't even know why this card was. You can tell, and that's why this card is so expensive. It's just, and it's a positive card to put on to Isochron Scepter. It, could you be just like copying it 1,000 times, 100 times, whatever, it just basically board control everywhere. So, and our final card of the day is Silence. Yeah, 1 white. Your opponent can't cast spells this turn. So with Silence, this card is better for smaller games, but it's a good thing. A good thing to do would be to cast Silence during someone's upkeep who can screw you over. It's like, I'm gonna win this turn, and you're just like, Silence, and they're like, I mean, especially if you're running like an artifact deck where you're just like, I untap all my stuff and Silence, you could lock a game down really hard, and it's your opponents. So if you're playing like 10 people, you'd be like, all 10 of you can't cast spells this turn. It makes it a little bit harder to keep it going through each person's turn. I don't know, it just paints a big target on your back. So, I mean, there's positives and negatives to this one. And also, the increased cost is, I mean, it's a price you pay for it, but there are way better spells and stuff to use Silence to copy it. But Isochron Scepter, absolutely. Another card similar to Isochron Scepter is Panoptic Mirror, but I might do some videos about those later. And obviously, this is kind of like a precursor to my other series where I talk about casual deck techs. I mean, you'll be seeing a lot of Isochron Scepter nonsense in these decks. So, that is the first episode of On a Stick. This has been Hughes, signing out. Have a good day. So, if you're still here, don't forget to visit our Patreon at patreon.com/5tails. The link's in the description, so check it out. I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.